Take baby steps. Start where you are and give yourself permission to speak from your heart. I'm going to tell you what I find and what I'm doing to erase my fear, gain confidence, and find my voice.
We all have insecurities and fear. So the question is, how do you get over them? It's time to explore and identify what's holding you back from your greatest potential. On this podcast, your host, Iris Janet, shows you how to use NLP, meditation, and energy to move past your obstacles.
Hello, my friends. Welcome back to another episode of Firefly by Iris Janet. If you are new here, thank you so much for listening and welcome. If you enjoy this episode at any time or you know someone who you think it will be inspired by this message, please copy and paste the link and share with them. Also, a quick reminder to go to fireflybyIrisJanet.com and download your free PDF with positive affirmation that will help you begin your day. And also, thank you so much because you have made this podcast a great success. We have over 13,000 downloads, and I am so grateful and happy that you find this podcast of a great use and inspiration. We will continue bringing great content and great speakers for you. Mahatma Gandhi said, "Silence becomes cowardice when occasion demands speaking out the whole truth and acting accordingly." And Martin Luther King said, "Our life begins to end the day we become silent about things that matter." What does it mean to find your voice? Finding your voice is beginning to speak, to become able to speak. Today, we will discover how to find your voice. Are you confident in a crowd? Self-assured in the knowledge that people are interested in what you have to say? Or are you hesitant about opening your mouth and fearing that you will sound stupid or boring? Well, let me tell you, that was me and that was still me at times, especially when I have to open the camera and speak. I give hundreds of presentations for over 5 years to hundreds of soldiers while I was working in the Department of Defense. And I was a nervous wreck when I began this podcast. I remember making the interview with Linda Sunshine West, and she was the one that told me, "Hey, no, leave the camera on. Let's do this podcast. And you don't have to turn off the camera," because I only was recording the audio and not the camera. And she was like, "No, let's do it." So I did it. And you will say, "Sure, I don't believe you. You do this every week." And yes, you are right. I record an audio for you every week. And sometimes I do videos on Instagram or I post my photos. And believe it or not, I get super nervous. When I first start recording this podcast, if you go back and you hear previous podcasts, you can hear my voice nervous. Now it's a lot better and I'm more confident and I go all over the place like I used to be. But I still get a little nervous. But you know what I did? I just jumped into it. I made the decision I wanted. I wanted to speak out. I wanted to be a public speaker. I want to bring a message. And I said, I have two choices. When I was talking to one of my mentors, she told me, "Okay, which language you're going to do it? You're going to do it in Spanish or you're going to do it in English?" And I said, if I do it in Spanish, it's going to be a piece of cake. But if I do it in English, I know that it's going to be a little bit more difficult for me. And I said, you know what? Let's do the difficult one first. So if you haven't found your voice, I want to encourage you to find your voice. This podcast was made with the intention to motivate women and to help you find your greatest potential, like the promo that you hear in the beginning of the show. But after a couple of episodes, I began to think that I needed more direction. So I meditate and I look for my voice. I ask God to guide me and to tell me what should I be doing. I am good in many things, but I want it to be something that comes so quick and easy and genuine that I do not have to make an effort. And I find that my voice is to still have the intention to inspire women, but with a more specific message. That I don't have to struggle, that I can inspire women to speak out, to find their voice, no matter what accent I have. When this came to me, I decided to even write a book about women migrating to another country and gain confidence. So I am working on a guide for immigrant women to empower them to success without losing their accent. I hope to complete it by the end of the summer, but I will let you know as soon as I'm done. As you all know, when you hear my voice, you hear that I have a strong accent. And some people say, oh, your accent is super sexy. And some people think that it's an impediment to understand what I'm saying. And if you go to Clubhouse is an app that it only have audio. So you don't see the person, you can only hear their voice. And when you're only talking, you have to be very specific and people understand what you're saying in only for you to bring a point across because you don't have the body language to help you. And in Clubhouse, I hear many women apologizing for their strong accent. One day I was in a room and literally I hear in the same room 3 times a woman apologizing for their accent. And I was saying to myself, no, don't do that. Your accent is beautiful. Do not apologize for your authenticity. So that is what this show is about, finding your voice. How you communicate can affect how you feel about yourself. If you find people speaking over you, ignoring what you say, or misinterpreting your meaning, it can affect your self-esteem and you believe in yourself. It can feel maybe frustrating. You can feel also isolating, not to be able to express an opinion or to speak your truth. However, this should not be, especially when you know that what you're expressing is genuine and is truthful and is with love. Often we believe that time or money are the impediments to fulfill our dreams or finding our voice. But in reality, we fear that we will not live up to our vision, or worse, that people will criticize us or laugh about us. I believe that there are many paths to oneness, and certainly many paths to finding your voice in a given moment. So many of us live sometimes in quiet desperation, suspending our dreams and using all kinds of excuses, as I said before, time, money, or other things. So take baby steps. Start where you are and give yourself permission to speak from your heart. I'm going to tell you what I find and what I'm doing to erase my fear, gain confidence, and find my voice. First of all, be brave like I did and dare to talk and to defend what you believe. This is not only when you are talking in public, this is about when you're talking in any arena, in front of anyone, and being you and express your opinion. Everyone have the right to their opinions and belief. And yes, we must respect other people's opinions and sometimes agree to disagree. But we should never apologize for who we are and what we believe. Look at me. Even that I get nervous, I continue doing the podcast and I jump into it. Accept that you have a unique and a special voice that is overflowing with possibilities. The divine universe, it gives you your mind, your body, your heart, and your spirit. Open this magnificent gift and see how they can be applied to your life right now. And on a regular basis, try to spend time in stillness and silence. I always said this. I know that you have heard from me probably in all of my podcasts, but at least 15 minutes each day so you can quiet your mind and ease your emotional turbulence in your life. From that stillness, the answer will come. And I know that if you've been with me from the beginning, you remember that I mentioned that since I was a little child, I hear that voice that was telling me many things. That is what it bring me to be the great person that I feel and that I know that I am today. Cultivate your ability to listen to the world around you. What angers you? What makes you cry? What gives you hope? What gets you passionate? What gets you running when you get up? Listen to your emotions throughout the day and feel what moves you. Find your passion. To me, was helping others finding success, specifically women. So where is your voice? Get really objective. And this is very important. This is what happened to me, what I was mentioning to you in the beginning. I knew that I wanted to do a podcast and I wanted to motivate women. And in reality, I wanted to motivate anyone who can get benefit from this. But I feel that I get more related to women because I can understand women. Plus, I have 5 daughters. So be objective, because in the beginning, I knew that I wanted to motivate women, but I did not know very objective of what is that I wanted to do with that idea and with that intention. So see yourself from another perspective. Take out your journal and write about yourself. And if you write about yourself, try to write about yourself as a third person. Look at yourself as you will be the character in a book, and write about what inspired that person and how they will make a mark on the world. And then when you don't, flip it around and make that character yourself and see how your voice unfolds. After you meditate for a few minutes, place your hand in your heart and ask yourself. And I think I mentioned this to you in a couple episodes before about that was like technique or tips how to find if that idea that you have is a good idea. So it's the same concept. Place your hand in your heart and ask, where am I holding back? In one instant, I bite in my tongue. Find who really believes in you. Find someone who can listen to you, a teacher, a mentor, a coach, someone who sees your strengths, who validate your gift and support your dream. Listen to your heart.
We Support specializes in creating and growing exceptional brands. In today's virtual world, social media is an essential marketing technique required to create online presence. Social media is a new way people communicate, shop, and learn. With countless things changing on social media, it can get overwhelming running those ads and campaigns. We Support Group can help your business be more efficient and profitable. And today we have a special offer for business owners with little to no social media presence. Let us help you grow a profitable business. Our consultants are experts in identifying your strategy. For more information, visit our page, wesupportgroup.net. and take advantage of the special offer. And if you mention that you hear this offer at Firefly by Iris Janet, you'll also get a 10% discount. We Support, modernizing how people connect with business.
Now, if you are talking in public, I want to give you a couple of tips that I also find and that I think that were very helpful for me. Hopefully these help you too. And if you're talking in public, like probably you doing a podcast or you going in Clubhouse, or if you, for example, have a meeting at your office, find your pitch. Think about how your voice sounds. That is too high or too squeaky. In the beginning, I hear myself, and I still today, I find many times my pitch like is too high and do not apply to the meaning of what I want to say or the message that I'm sending. So I try to practice sometimes. Most of the time I don't practice because I want it to be like right there, like what I am feeling at that moment. But if it's a meeting that I'm going to give in a public arena, let's say I'm going to do a public speaking, then I do practice my voice. Experiment at home with your voice at different levels until you find that pitch that sounds grounded and assertive. Take your time. Don't speak so quickly. That is one of my biggest problems. I wanted to say so many things that I start talking very quick. And that's when I stumble over my words. I do that a lot. So good thing I have a good editing team that they're so good and patient with me. But take a deep breath before speaking and pace out your sentence. What you have to say is worth hearing. Don't feel you have to rush. Prepare in advance. If you get a big meeting coming up, then it may be very helpful to prepare what you want to say in advance. Make notes of the key statement that you want to make and get your point across in the most direct way possible. And when you're going to say no, mean it. Okay? Don't, if sometimes someone asks you something, you don't want to do it and you don't want to do it, or you don't have the answer, or you don't know if you can do it or not, stay calm and say no. Or whatever it is. Saying yes, it could lead you to resentment. Stay close to your truth and don't fear repercussion from saying no. You're saying no to the request, not to that person. And stop pussyfooting. I know that you probably don't know what is this word. I just barely learned it. You don't have to apologize for being you. And this is what I was talking about that I hear. And when I hear it, I hear myself. I hear myself many times apologizing because I pronounce a word incorrectly. You don't have to apologize for being you. It's what I was saying in the beginning, or having your say. You don't have to hide your opinion or your request. Instead of saying, I'm really sorry to ask you this, but of course you can say no, but it's okay if you do this. No, your request can get lost in all that unnecessary verbal padding. Just say, could I ask you something, please? And that's it. Being clear and direct come across with far more assertive. Okay. So thank you for listening. And remember that you can attract all your desires by emitting your light.